Yeah, fine. Let me share my screen. Yes, fine. So far we discussed this Linux LVM. Okay, how to create a file system, how to extend the file system size. Even you will get a request like reduce the file system also, but that is not recommend. Okay, so that is not the recommendations actually. So you should go with the file system removing. Okay, yeah, because if you are not properly reducing the size means which will impact on your data, the exist data on your file system. Okay, fine. So today what I will explain. So far we discussed this hard disk, right? The main purpose of the hard disk is storage purpose. Correct. So the memory what it will do, whatever you are giving inputs to your system, right? So each and every command, okay, and along with your commands, along with the instructions, other services also running, right, in your server. All those services are running in the memory only. On top of all these, the processor should be okay. Not only the memory hard disk, other devices also, other things also, whichever running in your system, everything controlled by your processor. Okay. So memory. So today I will explain you the swap memory. Okay. So there are many names of for swap memory. So people are calling swap memory. I will tell you what does it mean. Or you can call it as a secondary memory. Okay. Secondary memory. Or you can call it as a virtual memory. Fine. So main try to understand why we need to use this memory means even your mobile is also having the memory device. Fine. So this memory what it will do, whatever you are having, right, in your server, if you want to run anything, right, so definitely you require the memory. So let's assume if you want to play a game, okay, so you want to play a game which required 2 GB, okay, so 2 GB RAM required, okay, so 2 GB RAM required. So currently your device having 4 GB, okay, so your device having the 4 GB RAM. Then if you want to play a game with the 2 GB requirement is, then it is okay. So you have the available space, available this RAM, then you can go and play. Let's assume if required the game required 6 GB means, then not at all possible. Fine. In the same way, real time also, after we are creating the server, after installing the operating system, then you can go and create the file systems, then you are handovering to the your developers. Then developer what he will do, he will develops the code and creates the application, then that application he will run on the servers. Okay, that application before installing he needs some the minimum requirement, like his application, like he will install one Java application. Okay, so he will develop the code and he will develop this application which required 4 GB memory. Okay, so 4 GB memory is required to run this Java application. Then that after Java application, this the people whoever accessing this application, right? So they will give some storage, right? They will give some data. The data where it will store means it will store in the hard disk. Hard disk directly we cannot store. So that's the reason we created the file system. Okay, the application will run on the memory and the application data is storing on the hard disk. Okay, so try to understand this is the high level. Okay, So inside the file system, how the storage, so they will see even the storage also, how the data will be means files and folders or files and directories. Okay, in the form of files and directories only where the end users data which are storing on the hard disk. Okay, then the application is running in the memory. Fine, this is the high level purpose of the memory. Okay, so now what is the secondary memory means? So whatever the memory you connected to your machine is, that is the physical memory. Okay, so physical memory. So now your system having hard disk also, right? Hard disk. On top of the hard disk, we are some portion we are using for the memory purpose. That's called as the virtual memory. Okay, so that is called as the virtual memory. So ideally this is the hard disk only, but we are instructing to the kernel. So kernel is the guy controlling everything, right? So we are with a swap memory implementation. This hard disk we are consider as a memory only. That memory known as the virtual memory, swap memory, or secondary memory. Okay. So why you need this means I will give an example. I already explained you, but anyhow, why you need swap? Okay. So why you need swap? I will give example. So let's assume your physical server having the memory. Okay. So this is a 2 GB, 2 GB. Okay. So let's assume this is having the RAM size is 2 GB. Okay. So someone wants to install the Java application. This required 4 GB. So definitely your physical memory won't sufficient. Okay. It won't process your application. Fully functionality you won't get. So that is the reason we are taking from the hard disk. Okay. We are taking from hard disk. You can go and make the partitions and convert into the secondary memory. Then you can go and create with 6 GB you can create. Okay. So now kernel what it will treat. So 2 plus 6 is 8 GB. So more than enough to run your application. Okay. In this scenario only people are going to create the virtual memory. Of course, in this situation, if you want to extend this physical memory means, okay, you can go and get the memory request, then you can extend with the 4 GB. But this reflects on the project cost. Okay, even in market also, general market also, if you go and inquiry, the pen drive, normal pen drive, that is the hard disk. Okay, external hard disk, that is around 1000 rupees you will get, 64 GB you will get. In the same way, you can inquiry for RAM memory with the 64 GB means that is highly cost. Comparatively with your hard disk, memory is the memory is the high price compared to your hard disk. Okay, this is only the high price comparatively. Fine. So in the you no need to go with the external memory. Okay, you don't need to attach go and buy another memory to your server. Of course, there is a feasibility, but including, I mean, inside your server itself, if you have the hard disk, okay, spare hard disk, then you can implement this swap memory and you can treat as this memory, then you can fulfill your needs. Okay, this is known as the swap memory. Clear, guys? So this is the purpose. Even in real time also, our servers also having the secondary memory. Okay, so you don't need to buy any additional memories. Okay, so in the same way how we added the volumes, right? In the same way you can create the memory and you can attach also. But in the Amazon there is no feasibility. But in real time we have, but that depends on that reflect on your cost actually, project cost. Okay, let's assume you have 100 servers, fine. So someone wants to extend with the 4 GB memory. Okay, so 4 GB RAM they want to extend. Each RAM is around 10,000. Okay, so 10 into 10k into 1000 means 100 means small value, right? Correct. 1000k will come. So 1000k project cost means huge amount. So you can go and pick up these 100 servers, write a script how to implement this memory and all, then implement on all the 1,100 servers. Then no need to buy, zero, zero cost. Okay. So if you want to fulfill your needs means this Java application you want to install and process means minimum 4 GB is required. Okay. Then create with the 6 GB, then attach with your implement this swap, then kernel how it will treat means, oh, this guy having this server having 8 GB, but only 4 GB is required. 4 GB is to run the process. Other services also running, right, along with your Java. The OS processes, monitoring processes, and some file system processes, copying things. So all others are running, right? That's why it will consider and it will go and work it. Getting what is the virtual memory and how, what is the main intention? Clear, guys? Implementation is very simple. You can go and use the same again fdisk command only. The steps I will explain now. The steps I will list out now. Okay. So here we are using the hard disk only again. Fine. So let me list out the steps. How to implement the swap. Swap means first same, create a volume and attach. This we know already. Okay. And here make a partition. This is also we know the same how you did for the file system creation, right? Same step. Now here third step onwards. Okay. So convert, okay, convert ID disk partition ID into swap ID. I will tell you. So here this one. Then again after converting the ID, okay. So after converting this partition ID, normally by default Linux it will come 82. So you need to convert into the swap ID. Then you can this disk convert as a swap disk, okay, swap partition. Then you can create the swap. Then enable the swap. Enable means like same mount only. Enable the swap. That's it. These are the steps, guys. So first two steps we already familiar. Okay. So let me show it again. So let me log in into my AWS. Give me a minute. I think I stopped my server. So let me start it. Yeah, this is my console. Go to the EC2. So don't create multiple hard disks. Okay, so go with only 2 GB size or 3 GB size, because if you create multiple hard disk, right? See, currently I'm having 4 volumes. If you have multiple volumes, then it will be charging, guys, because we are using only the free subscription. We are having the free subscription, right, which is having limited services. Don't create multiple. By default, if you create a EC2 instance, by default it will be having with 8 GB hard disk. Okay, then remaining you can go with only 4 or 2. That's it. Okay, so let me create another volume with 2 GB, and this should be 1B because my EC2 is in 1B. Fine. So create this volume. So let me give a name like a swap val. This is my swap val. Okay. So after creation, you have to attach it. So select this, click on actions, and attach my EC2 instance. Even if you see, it is in the stopped state. It is not running. Even though you can attach it, not an issue. Okay. Give name. So fourth disk SDD. Okay. Attach this. Refresh this and go and check the status, disk status. Yeah, in use. Fine. Now let me go and start my mission. Meantime, let me open my putty. Yeah, it is running. This is my public IP. I am logging with EC2 user. Fine. Successfully I logged in. Fine. So you can go with let me switch to root. Sorry. So fdisk -l. So this is my, where is my fourth disk? This is the first disk, second disk. Ah, here it is. XVDD. Okay, this is my fourth disk which is having 2 GB. Okay, third disk DC and DB. Fine. Okay, so now what I will do, I will make the partition. How to make? Again same fdisk disk name /dev/xvdd. Okay, so nothing are there currently. Let me create. So here there is a rule, even the interview question also. While you are creating the swap partition, right, you must go with the primary type only. Okay, so partition types, there are two types, right? Extended and primary. So if you want to create the swap partition, you must go with the two. Okay, so two, I will give first sector same, and here I am not giving any specific size. I want to create with more, with all space, with all size. Okay, I am giving simply enter. See, the 2 GB I have added, right? So it is taken all this 2 GB as a partition. Okay, now check. So this is the partition, and if you observe, by default I didn't mention any ID. So by default it is taken as a 83 under Linux type, right? So you can save this. See, successfully I have created the partition. Now, so this is the third step, convert the partition ID into swap ID. Okay, by default your partition will get the Linux 83 ID. Now you have to convert it. So what is the swap ID means? So again you can go and go to your fdisk page, fdisk and disk name, raw disk name. So here there is a option called L. Okay, so you can, if you go for M for help, right? So here if you list the C, L for list the partition types with IDs. Okay, so L, you can enter L. So here many IDs are there. See, 80, more than 80. See, these all are partition types. See, so many types are there. So many types are there. But no need to remember all. Okay, so no need to remember all. You simply go with this below they mentioned, right? At least you can remember this. See, swap. Linux is 83. Swap is 82. That's it. And extended type is 05. And LVM is 8E. These IDs sometimes they will ask guys. What is the ID of the swap partition? What is the ID of the LVM partition? What is the ID of the extended type extended partition? Okay, and what is the default type? Linux 83 ID. Okay, now the whatever the partition you created, right? That partition ID you have to change. How to change means again you can go with M. If you don't know the options, you can go with help. Okay, there is an option called T. This will change the partition type. Okay, so just press the T and hit enter. Okay, so if you have multiple partitions, then it will ask the partition number, the table number. So here we have one only, right? So directly taken. Now enter the hexa code, or you can go with the alias also. Alias name, nickname. So you can go with the ID 82. Hit enter. See, change the type of the partition from Linux to Linux swap. This is the partition swap. Okay, you can save this. That's it. Partition table has been altered. Now the partition type is swap type. If you want, you can display fdisk /dev/xvdd. See, sorry, let me go with the L. Okay, list. I want to list. See, this is the hard disk, and this is having this partition name. Now this is the swap partition. Okay, and ID is 82. Earlier it was 83. Fine. Then you can create the swap. Okay, how to create means there is a command called mkfs. Fine. So until here you are familiar, right? Then create, how to create means mkfs, sorry, mkswap. Mkswap, this is the command. Syntax is mkswap partition, swap partition. Okay, that's it. So here mkswap /dev/ the partition name xvdd1. Okay, this one xvdd1 is the partition. Let me go and execute. Fine. So before that, so currently we have the physical memory, right? So how to list out the physical memory details means that is a command called free. Fine. Hit enter. Fine. So these are your memory details. Free is the command which will display all your memory details. So here we cannot read it properly. So if we go with the -h option, human readable format, which will display clearly. See, free -h, fine. So here 949 MB, in the sense almost 1 GB. The first line is the physical memory details. Second line is the swap. So currently how much swap we have? Currently what is the swap memory size? 0. There is no swap memory at this moment. Okay. So physical memory is 1 GB total. Out of 1 GB, 124 MB is used. This much free, this much cache, and this is available. Okay. So cache memory also some occupied, 200 MB occupied. Okay. Now what I will do? I will create the swap now. Okay. I will create the swap. So to create the swap, mk swap. I think I executed, right? No, I think. Okay. Let me execute this command. Mk swap partition name xvdd1. Okay. See, swap has been created and the swap partition having the UOID. Okay. Now only if you go and check, right, still it is 0 only because you just created, you haven't enabled it. Okay, you haven't enabled it, you have to enable. So how to enable means swap on command. Okay, so syntax is this one, swap on swap name. Okay, now this is not the partition, now this is the swap now. Okay, so you can give the same command, swap on. Okay, swap on swap name /dev /xvdd1. See, executed successfully. Now you can check, definitely it will show the 2 GB. See, now your swap memory is enabled, it is the active state, you can go and use it. Okay, because we enabled it, swap on. Fine, earlier 0, right, 0 size here, now here. See, now what is the total memory of your server? Total memory in the sense your physical memory plus swap memory. So 1 plus 2, 3 GB now. You can go and install the applications. Okay, clear guys? That's it. Now if I reboot means, then again it will be disabled. After reboot, again it will be gone. Then again you can come and enter this command, swap on. So to avoid this, you can add this entry in the fstab file. Okay, so you can go and work on it. There is a syntax, right, in the fstab: file system name, mount point name, and file system type. Correct. So here options and all the others, right? So here we are not mounting on any directory, right? You can give as a none. Okay. So before editing any file, let me take the backup. Okay, in the same location I will take. So today 18th. Okay, now you can edit. fstab. Fine. So these are the entries. So you can go with the UUID, guys, or you can go with partitions also, not an issue. Fine. So I will go with partition because it's pretty easy, right? So /dev /xvdd1. Okay, I am not mounted on any folder, that's why I'm giving as a none. And the type of the partition is swap. Okay, and you can go with the defaults only and 0 0. That's it. That's it, guys. You can save this, then give a command as a mount -a. Done. Even after reboot also, your SHAP should be available and use it. Should be active state only. Okay. Clear? So how to check the memory utilization details means free-h. This is the command. How to check the disk utilization means df-h. This is the command. See the total memory, used memory, free memory, and cache. This and all. And here also how much file system size. Here disk nothing but a file system. That's it. So what is the total of the total size of the file system? How much used in the percentage? That's it. Okay. In the same way, processor also. Okay. So there is nothing. Even see processor also core wise they are calculating, right? So here we are how we are calculating the memory and hard disk with help of the KBs, megabytes, MBs, GBs, right? So processor how we are calculating means core wise 8 core, 4 core, or 16 cores likewise. Okay. So if you even if you want to extend your processor means, so you can go and raise a request. Okay. So this is this much CPU available. So currently this much CPU available. Now you want to extend means, then raise a request. Then you can attach this. Okay. You can attach this. There is a command called lscpu. lscpu. So which will display all your processor details. See, this is your CPU architecture. This will x86 type architecture is x86. We are calling right 64-bit or 32-bit, that kind of words. So this is the x86 64-bit, this one. Okay. So you have, this is the virtual CPU. So currently you have only one CPU. Okay. So which is creating in your AWS. So in the real time you might be having 2 CPUs or 4 CPUs. And what is the capacity, all the details here. Okay. And the utilization details, this is very important. How to see the utilization of your, that is what monitoring. Okay. So how you are checking your utilization of the CPU, memory, and hard disk, because if any of this one reach the threshold values, threshold in the sense, so if your CPU reach the 100% means, then your system will get affect. Your functionality of system is will get affect, and the performance is will get reduced. Slow performance. Sometimes your mobile also getting hung, right, due to the high utilization of these resources. Then how to monitor? See, one server, two servers means, just now we discussed, right, this command memory for free-h and hard disk df-h. One server or 10 servers means you can go on the every 5 minutes or frequently 10 minutes you can go and execute these commands, you can analyze. But in your real time 1000 servers are there, right? Then how will you monitor all those 1000 servers, guys? Is it possible to log in all 1000 servers and frequently checking? Will it make sense? Obviously no, it won't make sense, right? That is the reason we need monitoring tools. You are not monitoring directly, you are informing to the tool. Okay, we are informing to the monitoring tool. Then what is the tool name? Again another question. There are many tools. Nagi OS is there. Okay, Patrol, TSOM. Okay, Nagi OS, Patrol, TSOM, and one more famous tool is there. Okay, I will tell you. Remember me. Remind me in the WhatsApp. I will tell you. There is one very popular one. No? Okay. So, or else you can go and Google it. What is the popular monitoring tool? What are the popular tools, monitoring tools? Let me Google it. I forgotten that name. Can someone Google it, guys? Even our DevOps also we are using that tool. Yeah, Prometheus. One more. That's it. That is what Grafana. Prometheus actual not UI tool. Okay, so Grafana. This is nowadays booming, guys. This Grafana tool. Even in interviews also you can tell the same. What is your in what tool you worked on means I worked on the Grafana. We will configure this. Okay, this is the open source tool only. No need to purchase. You can go and use it. Grafana. So I will go and install all the agents. Okay, so how monitoring setup will be? There is a one server dedicated for your monitoring tool. Okay, which is known as the master server. So let's assume this is your monitoring server. This is also running with operating system Linux only. Okay, so this is monitoring server where your Grafana master is running. Okay, so here your Grafana master is running. Now in your environment you have plenty of servers, right? Okay, so all these servers you can go and install the Grafana agents. Okay, so here you can go and install the Grafana agents on all your servers. So here agents are running. Agents. Then you no need to log in all these servers. You just simply log into the Grafana master server. Then these agents are giving all the server details to your master. Then simply you can log in this Grafana dashboard. The dashboard having wherever the servers are, wherever the agents are connected to your master, right? There you will be receiving all the utilization details. So majorly you are checking for the CPU utilization, memory utilization, and hard disk utilization. That's it. See, no need to log in 1000 servers or 10,000. How many? Doesn't matter. Count is doesn't matter. Simply you can go and log in the Grafana dashboard. There will be a UI. Okay. So you can just log in the dashboard, Grafana dashboard. There you will get all the your server details. What is the server name? What is the server IP? How much CPU? How much memory? So there are many types of dashboard templates are there. Okay, graph wise or horizontal wise. There are plenty templates are available to list out the utilizations. Point wise, okay, numeric values it will display, or graph wise it will display. Barcode, bar size, likewise it will display. Okay, are you getting how in the real time people are monitoring these resources? But this dashboard you should monitor, because all this information you are getting, right? All this information you are getting over the dashboard, then you should monitor this dashboard 24 by 7. Okay, alerts are coming. If any, say so and so server getting high utilized by CPU, then this agent will give the input to the master, then master it will display in the this dashboard. Then you will get a alert, CPU alert or memory alert. Then that alert having the information which server on which server utilization high, and priority wise also it will display the numbers P1 or P2, P3 or critical, major, minor, or extreme critical, extreme high. Okay, then extreme high means you have to give more priority. So this is what in the real time people are monitoring these utilizations. Definitely you will get a question from interviewers, because this is the what monitoring is very important. Because if any out of this anything is getting high means, then it will impact on the server. Then whatever the application running inside the server, right, that will get reflect, that will get effect. Then people are follow up with your admin teams, follow up your technical leads or managers. If something went wrong means, definitely people will affect, right? Then they will make a complaints on you, on your project. Okay, so you can remember Grafana tool, Grafana monitoring tool. Fine, even if someone asks you, then you can reply Grafana. So you can go and Google it, Grafana, how the dashboard looks like. Okay, so this is the UI page only, so easily you will understand. But in the back end, you are going to monitoring these resources only: CPU, memory, hard disk, and some network also. Network things also you will monitoring, because network also plays crucial role. Fine. Any questions? So CPU, how you are monitoring means, there is a wonderful command top. Let me show you. This is the command, guys. Definitely you will get a question from interviewers. The top command, very popular one. Not only the CPU, you will get more other details also. So normally the command, that one top. See, what is the top processor utilizing the CPU and memory? Currently nothing running in my server, that's why 0%. Okay, and here also see memory swap details and CPU details also. Okay, and how many users are connected, uptime also it will display, many how many this main processes running, sleeping, see, many information it will display, top command. Okay, and what command basis also it will display. You can take a look on this top command. So you want to come back with press Q. Okay, fine. Okay, that's it for this session. Again, we will connect at 7 o'clock. Okay, we will discuss one more topic. Is it okay, guys?